What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of I Am Negan, a TWD Universe podcast. My name is Adam Vale. I'm a senior editor over at the Koalition with a K, Koalition.com, and I'm joined by editor-in-chief of the Koalition, Richard Bailey Jr.
What's up, Adam? What's up, listeners and viewers?
And Throwdown Show over on Twitch, Carlos Romero.
Yo, what's going on?
What's going on? You know what's going on. We're about to talk about this horrible show. This show is such a disappointment. People, you should know by the headline. This is for Fear the Walking Dead, the final season, episode 8. Was it Iron Tiger? Oh, my Lord. This show. What happened? What happened to Fear the Walking Dead? Right? That's going to be the topic right here because this is pretty bad. So hopefully, people, you guys already seen the episode. We're filming this a little later because we got all kinds of things going on. We got Carlos on location in NYC doing some stuff. So we were like, well, let's just do this the next day because we're not missing much. We weren't expecting much, and then after watching it now, we realized we definitely weren't missing any. Oh man, and I'll just get into it. So real quick. Spoilers, if you haven't seen this episode, we're going to break this down. We're going to complain about it. We're going to complain a lot. So go ahead, watch it AMC Plus, or if it's still on your DVR and you weren't sure about watching, you could watch and skim through whatever. I don't care. If not, you could just hear us rant about this because this was pretty bad. All right. So the big reveal, right? What was the big reveal? Dun, dun, dun. Charlie's alive. Yeah. Again, man. Again, where this show just likes to throw these little tidbits, but with no real context of anything, because we saw that she had radiation poison, right? She was dying. She was with Daniel on that raft, but then Daniel later on said she didn't make it. How does he? This just goes against that. Because he didn't know she was alive. Well, you were with her on the damn raft. How do you not know this? It's just like, like when I saw this, I was like, no, this doesn't make any sense. Rich, like what we're watching, and this one of the main issues is that this show kept doing this rubber band effect. 1 minute, all right, we got to support everybody. We found Lucia. Lucia now is running this whole operation of gasoline trucks all across wherever this fictional land is, and this never came up during the first part. It never came up with Padre saying, hey, wait till our next shipment of gas comes and we're going to burn all you other people out of the woods in June when she was sniping people. None of that came up. Oh, she has her own crew. She's busy doing other things. Then she tells Daniel, oh, yeah, I was looking for you. That's a lie. Because Daniel, as we saw in the first part, had a whole group of angry parents that they were traveling around also looking for Padre. And they never once saw one of these gas trucks. Come on now. It's just like, it's so frustrating because they make it seem like it is wherever they're at is so spread out, so open that they're like, oh, we don't know where Padre. How about this? Look across the water. Do you see that little island? That's where it is. But no, they act like they're somewhere else. Like even when we see angry shots of like when Madison was smashing walkers because she found out, because Charlie was like, oh yeah, I killed Nick. And she's like, oh, and she goes killing walkers. You could see off in the distance where this Padre is. You could see the water. You can see everything is flat where they're filming this. So why is there a problem where no one can see other people? Madison was stealing kids, remember, for Padre. She never saw a truck. She never talked about a truck, right? She never said, oh, there's these trucks that come by. I didn't know you were running these damn trucks, Lucia. I could have flagged you down. We could have talked. No, doesn't come up. None of this comes up. Too much of this. Oh, let me tell you this story and this is what I was doing this whole time in the 7 years. And it's a lot of info, and it just doesn't really connect with anything. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. For when they left Alicia on the beach, that was what? That was like Mexico somewhere, or no, Texas. That was in Texas. Who knows where they are now? Because that's definitely not Texas, or what was it? It was another part. Carlos, you said you recognize the area as someone who's from that part of the.
Well, no, this was during when we were in Padre. I was like, well, they're by the coast. They're probably in South Padre Island. So
Mhm.
that's part of Texas. So
There you go.
that's
All
when
right.
I said that.
So then they're technically still in that part, but and just a spread out. It just doesn't. But they don't really bring that up. And when they keep talking about all these different locations and bases, and it's like, show a map, do something, pull a Game of Thrones. At least a Game of Thrones that at the opening would show locations really quick so you can get an idea, because you're going to see a lot of interconnect. Here, there's none of that. So I don't get it. It's just too much. And it sounds like they're just cramming everything in. And some can argue for them and say, hey, well, this is the end of the show and they're just trying to squeeze everything in. No. Because then they could have had a lot of this said in the other episodes. They could have brought this up. Morgan could have said, he's like, oh, yeah, we're out here doing all this stuff, but I do see these trucks that go by. I don't know what group they're part of. But I'm also stealing kids. So maybe I've taken some of their kids. No, we have not come across a group that has said, hey, you guys have been taking my kids. No, because remember, Daniel had angry parents, but he never really said what group he found them. He just collected all these people to go and try to find the parents. I mean, the kids. And they're all on Padre. And the parents, nowhere to be found in this episode. This so-called army that he put together. No, and I get it. You're trying to condense everything down, and it's like, oh, well, there's only so much you have in the budget. We're just going to use the main characters. Why have all the filler background? Well, you have the filler background so that way they can die and other things can happen, because we know none of these are going anywhere. So it's just too much, man. I just went on a rant because I'm so upset. We watched this and it's so disappointing. This show used to be great many seasons ago, and it had its ups and downs. And last season was definitely an up. Until toward the end of it, the second part, then it went down, and it's been on a slide all the way down into the mud, because none of this. I mean, I'm glad Morgan's not part of this. I'm glad he already left.
Whoa.
Because this is too much. This is just too much. Go ahead,
So,
Rich.
I pretty much agree 100% with everything that was said. Let me start here. For Luciana, my guess is that they were trying to emphasize that, when she was working with Jenny, she probably learned a lot of different things, and they made her resourceful in the 7 years that we didn't see the character. So I guess that's an okay explanation. That's the only thing I could think of as to why they would do all of this with her character. But all the stuff with Charlie, because the last time we saw Charlie, they said that she was terminally ill. There was no cure. All of a sudden, she gets to Padre, and all of a sudden, Padre cures her. She's perfect health. She just feels very guilty about killing Nick, which is a character that, again, that character died so long ago. I don't really care about the character. But the reason that they had her recover was just so they can create the conflict of saying, well, how is Madison going to react when she tells her that she killed her son? That's the only reason why I feel that they brought her back.
That was it.
And this is why she made the sacrifice later in the episode, I guess. But that's the only reason why. But to me, it doesn't feel to me like the people running the show had a clear vision for the final season. They just said, let's just throw everything, see what sticks, because it doesn't matter because the show is ending anyway. But Morgan, aka Lenny James, made a wise choice to leave the season in the first half, because he did not need to be a part of any of this in the second half.
I would be surprised if he read all this and he was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, I think he read the script and he was like, I'm taking Mo with me.
I can't do this anymore. This is a sinking ship. We're not even riding off in the sunset. This is just like, like I was joking about it when we watched. I was like, I can't imagine this ever going on rerun anywhere. Who would watch this? Who would say, oh, wow, I want to tune in and see this. Let's get some popcorn. No, this is horrible. The back and forth. That 1 minute Madison hates Charlie and the whole thing. Next minute, you're going to go kill. I'm blanking on Troy. You're going to go kill Troy. And I was like, well, You have your own issues with Troy. Why are you sending her to go do it? And she's like, yeah, I'll go do it. And then she goes. And then next minute she feels bad. She's like, no, we need her back. We're going to save her. And then she goes and sacrifices herself because then she can't trade. And they want the map to Padre. And it's like, the Padre, we could see where Padre is. Come on now. It's just...
And once again, I hate where, because we talked about this in the last episode, where you are pretty much in a standoff with the bad guys. And once again, you can take them out right then and there. No, we're not going to do that, though, because Charlie, she took her own life. So that's okay. Now we're all in shock. And now Troy says, wait a second, where's my daughter? Where's my daughter?
Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah. Oh, now, well, that I had to get to Padre. I told you why. I wanted to start a new life, just like you, and all this stuff. But yet you said you were going to kick everybody out that was there. Remember, it's like I'll give them time. No, if you have this situation with these kids, and one of them was like, oh, she ran off. She wanted to be in a truck at night when it's on fire. What? It's like, what is happening? It's comical. None of this. Like, all right, well, I'll be right back. I have to go for my daughter. And he's just running and swinging his weapon and stabbing and stuff. And then Madison now all of a sudden wants to help him out. She's trying to help him find his daughter. Oh, well, I'm going to help you. And then afterwards, no, I'm not. I'm going to try to kill you now. It was too much. Too much back and forth. Too much flip-flopping. Usually this type of flip-flopping that happens in a show, in a novella, something over time. You let things drag out 2 or 3 episodes, and then there's a big, I'm going to double cross you. We've seen this flip back and forth 6, 7 times in this episode. Madison hates Charlie. Madison loves Charlie. Madison hates Troy. Madison helps Troy because of the kid situation. Don't want no more kids. Oh, wait a minute. I still hate you because you want to kill her. I'm going to kill you now. It was just back and forth.
I'm going to work for Padre. I'm going to collect the kids. Now
I'm going to work
for it. Now.
There you go. Works for Padre, collect the kids.
But by the way, I just want to make a comment and say I did read an Entertainment Weekly interview because they interviewed the showrunners about this episode, and they did mention there is going to be an episode where we get Troy's backstory to find out what happened to him this whole time. We probably should have got that a lot sooner, but I really don't care because this has been a very, very bad second half of the season so far. So,
yeah, don't care. I don't care. It was just too much. And the whole thing with Daniel and not understanding what's going on. Oh, I'm going to kill him with my bare hands. You could have killed them back at the hotel. And you're like, well, we got to run. Why do you have to run? You have the guns. Just end it. And then it's just, the only one plus side out of this is that he reunites with Lucia. And hopefully that's it for them. I can let them go and live with her community, wherever that is, because then they all go their separate ways. And now Madison feels guilty for everything, and this is her fight, and she has to go do this. And Stranded's like, I can't run, a Padre alone. Well, no, what happened to all the parents? All the parents of the kids? You're going to tell me they're all dingbats and they can't function? They can't do anything? Is that why there's none of them on this trip? It makes no sense. That made no sense.
I agree. It makes no sense. The only thing that does make sense is that Madison needed to separate from everybody at the end of this episode. I think that made sense because she caused all the chaos in the episode and all the stuff happening with Charlie, the falling out. So I didn't have a problem with that, but I'm a little confused because where the hell is she going to go on foot? She obviously... Troy is, we'll see what happens, but I just kind of feel like at some point there's going to be some type of reconciliation. She's not going to be the only one to take this guy down. We already know that. They'll have to make up at some point.
Yeah, and what about the oxygen tank? She needs oxygen. She needs that tank. So where's she going to get that? Where's she going to get it? Just like how she collapsed before, and that's how they found her at the hotel. They brought her in because she had collapsed. The same thing's going to happen here. She's going to collapse somewhere, and then that's it. She's going to get found. The only takeaway, and AMC, I know you guys are watching this and you're listening because you sent me the feedback. Listen, go create the coffee can for Nick's ashes. I want that on AMC. Go ahead, sell it. I need that. And I'll put that back here. I want a coffee can of Nick's ashes that you put that Madison had on the dashboard. That's what I want. I want to carry that everywhere. And when people ask me what, I'm like, "Yo, this is Nick. This is Nick." And then just like people that don't even give a shit about this show, they're gonna say the same thing. Who's Nick? Exactly. Who's Nick? Who's Nick? Because that was the other question. When they were spinning all this off, I'm waiting for some flashback scenes of when the shot was fired and all that stuff. None of it. None of it. They don't do it. I'm like, this is your opening. Why don't you do this? And I'm thinking, well, they would have to pay the actor rights because they're showing some scenes with him in it, and they don't want to do that. But what if he's already the Walker version? Because remember, he did turn into a Walker. So, but no, they don't do this. And then the whole thing with Alicia and going back and saying, oh, well, I'm going to find her. I can't let her wander around. She's dead already. She is dead. I'm tired of everyone saying, well, oh, I can't believe he killed her. You knew she was dead. She got bit. She was sick. She was missing the arm. She was left for dead on that beach. That's why she wanted to stay on the beach, because she knew if she was on the raft with them, she was going to turn.
This is why I really dislike this show. This is the series finale of Fear the Walking Dead, and the conflict is over fucking kids who fucking died. How many seasons ago?
Yep.
One last season, the other one was like season 5, 4 around there.
We're supposed to get new stories, new conflicts, and new things, but everything has to do about the past.
Well, I agree 1,000% with what you said, Carlos. And you know what AMC's response to that will be, because I know they would, like Adam said, they will give feedback on the show. Well, this is a lesson in mental health and why you need to deal with your situations and then move on. That's what this is about, right? That's the disclaimer they had before.
Oh yeah, yeah. Before and after. Before and after.
It's because it doesn't. The group or anything, they're not going anywhere. It's just. It's going over things that have been gone through so many times. I mean, even with Morgan, we had the whole thing where he had to go back to Georgia to go see his kid to put him to rest. Remember that whole ordeal? That's the whole reason why his baby mama died. And it's just going back to these exact same things. It's like there's no goal, there's no mission statement for this group or for this show. It's like, okay, let's bring up old characters from random times, and you're alive. Oh, every new episode, it's like, oh, you're alive. Oh, you're alive. Oh, you're alive. Oh, maybe maybe this person's alive.
Yeah.
That's
what
the show is.
Honestly, the show has always been like that. If you think back, remember the last season with the nuke and everything happened, they were all divided. It was the same thing. Where did they go? They were finding them. Then before that, when they were out in Georgia with the big hurricane that happened, remember? And everybody got separated, and they were all different locations. Same thing. When they went to Mexico, this is the show, but it's never been this bad of them doing dumb stuff. Like this is like for her to Madison, then 1 minute say, all right, I'm all about Padre and fixing all stuff. But then she finds out, well, your daughter, Alicia, she's dead. She's a walker just with one arm wandering around. Well, that's my goal. I have to go find her and put her down. Can't let her be like that. Where are you going? Are you kidding me? And then the fact that Troy is over here chopping up arms off of the walkers just to throw her off. That again doesn't make any sense. She wouldn't do that. This is not that character. She would have not said, you know what, this is my goal now in life. No, stick with the plan. The plan is Padre. Yeah, your daughter is already dead. It's not like she's walking around there with one arm alive. She is a walker. She's done. So that's why that part didn't make any sense. It was like, this is what she's going to do. She's telling Strand. And while everybody is talking about what Charlie did, what about with Strand? The whole reason why Carly had all those issues, is because of Strand and all the stuff that with the tower. It's like they forget all about that and all the drama and all the stuff that he caused for this group.
I agree. They completely just glossed over all of that. The one thing I was going to say, I just find it interesting how they still bring up this stuff about Alicia when the actress has already said she's done with the show and she's left the show. So I don't know why they would try to create a story based on this.
Yeah, the
I
actor
don't
that
get that.
plays Nick, the actor played Nick left years
Yeah,
ago.
that's true.
I'm sure if somebody says, "Yo, you keep getting name dropped," that character, even now in 2023, in the final season, they gotta you gotta go on their website and get one of those cans of ashes for you, because I'm sure they're gonna sell it, and you'll be like, you are forever linked to this show.
Yeah,
it's amazing. No one talks about the dad though, and his son. So no, who cares about him, right? Oh man, yeah, there's a lot of problems with this. There's a lot of problems, a lot of back and forth. Only longtime fans of the show who have stuck by will understand these terms and names and people that die, because they're not doing any flashbacks. They're not trying to help any viewers that had taken some time off and came back. No. Too bad. You got to find our show or other outlets to just to fill in the blanks, because all they do is talk, and this, and talk. It's just too much. If somebody was not paying attention and watching this show from beginning to end this whole time, all these years, they would have just rage quit. Like, you know what? I can't follow this. And what else is on? I can't.
In the next episode, it's going to be Dwight. Remember,
Yeah,
with Dwight and his wife, the whole point at the end of the first half of the season, it's like, oh, this is, we're gonna break it off. And not even 4 episodes after that, they're gonna get back together, because somehow the conflict is gonna put them together. And man,
yeah, she's like, yeah, before it's like, oh yeah, our son died, whole thing, let's go our separate ways. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, no, none of that makes sense. Not in this situation, not in this setting, in this world. He traveled across the United States looking for her. Remember, finding the trails, all this stuff.
and
She was
she's she's way beyond his league. So I don't know what the hell he was thinking.
He's got a crispy face because of her and all that stuff there. Because remember the Negan and all that, and it was just, that never made any sense. That upset me too. Like, now you're like, all right, well, this is the time to split. Let's just work. No, this is not the time to split. So, and she's in that trailer they showed her as well, and it looks like they're either together or someone's trying to help the other one, and we'll have to see where it goes from there. But I'm telling you, this is just riding the wave to the island and just end it. Just end this. I have no faith that it's going to get any better, because I don't see it. I don't see how it can get better. This is it. They've already set their story. It's to get Troy, but then I have a feeling it's going to be like a happy ending type of situation, because now Madison wants to help Troy because he has kids, and bring those kids over. And again, they did that little mystery thing of, well, Troy's screaming, well, there's no mother. You know why? I don't have time for this. Yeah, just say the name. Say something. No. It's, again, one of those TV tropes. Tune in next week to find out. Yeah. It's like, it could be any one of the randos that she's killed over the years, and that's what they'll probably do. It's like somebody that was part of some group in a car. They probably won't even show a flashback, so we can't put a face to it. We'll have to look it up and check out that old episode and see how that fits. Because this whole thing, when they announced, oh, Troy, and we saw on Reddit, everyone was like, oh, it's going to be Troy. I was like, why? And now we know why, because that's the only one that clearly they did not die and turn into a walker. So since we didn't see that, that gives them the open door to bring him back. Just like that gives them the open door to bring Charlie back. It doesn't matter that for half that other season, she was just laying in a bed full of radiation poison. Remember, not moving. And they're like, yeah, she's not going to make it. That's it. They had no treatment, nothing. They're putting her on a raft. Who knows how long they were on that raft. Like, yeah, she didn't make it. And then now look at it. She's fully recovered. She doesn't have any symptoms or anything. She's fine. And she sacrificed herself for nothing, if you think about it, because it didn't resolve the issue there. Troy is still alive, still running around doing all whatever. So it was pointless. And like you said, this is just one of those things like, all right, let's bring her back and then properly kill her off. Let's maybe this will bring some emotion or something to the episode, some sympathy for the group and this and that. No, it didn't. It didn't do that because it was pointless. It was a pointless death. She should have just died like how everybody dies on The Walking Dead, in combat, fighting, and get bit or shot. That would have been better. Then no, don't tell them what Padre is. What, something to trade? I'm the trade. Then I'm just going to take my own life. You know, I did it for Nick. This is for Nick. My bad. Nope. Wasn't buying it. And that was it. Pretty bad. All right. So anything you want to say, Carlos, besides this is one of your favorite episodes of Fear?
No, I think it's I can't really add more to what you guys have talked about. Yeah, as far as the way it went, we kind of, we were talking about it. We kind of predicted how it was gonna go, with the whole thing. Oh well, what's her name? Now I'm blanking. Starts with an M. Now
Madison?
Morgan Madison.
Madison
She's
Clark. You have to say first and last because that's what everyone does for some reason for her. They keep as if there's multiple Madisons. You don't want to get her confused. But even the trope's like, oh, you're talking to Madison Clark? It's like, oh, I thought you meant Madison Juliet. Oh, Madison Clark. Yeah.
I mean, when Charlie came out and did the whole thing, she predictably went crazy, and then we knew at the next second it was going to change, and you know, it is what it is, guys. I'm pretty, contrary to Rich's belief, I'm pretty down on this show, um, unfortunately, because Dead City and Daryl Dixon show were pretty good. And this is the series finale, and unfortunately, I feel like they're really dropping the ball. I mean, even last season, we didn't like the last half of the season. We weren't too big fans of either, but this is even worse
Yeah.
somehow.
Yeah. Pretty bad. Rich?
No, there's only a couple episodes left, so we will see if they somehow stick to a landing. But it has been a pretty mediocre final couple episodes, I would say, so far.
Yeah, when they had said AMC that they were gonna put a rush on ending this, remember it's actually ending in a week earlier than scheduled. They know they want to put this, they want to put this show to bed already. They watch this and like, especially compared to what they are producing, this puts a bad taste in people's mouths. Because let's say you walked away for a while, right? You're only Walking Dead proper. You never watched Fear or World Beyond or all that stuff, and then you hear about the Dead City. Okay, a lot of people like those characters. Tune in. Hey, pretty good show. New direction, new scene, new everything. Right? New vibe, new feel. Right? Great. Mm-hmm. Okay. Daryl comes out. Wow, new location, same thing, new vibe, a lot of swear words. Oh, wow, we're getting a real gritty show. This is fun. Okay, I like this. Wow. Oh, Fear's coming back. Let's watch it. And then you're like, this is horrible. This is bad. It's like, oh, no, I'm not watching this. This can turn off people that are still trying to give this a chance. I recently got to get together with some people and we were talking about this show and they were like, who's watching this still? And the question is not a lot. This particular spinoff, no, not a lot. But my fear is that people that were pulled back in because of Dead City and Daryl Dixon, that they may be tuning in for this because they got that crave to watch more Walking Dead and be like, oh, now I remember why I stopped watching. Because this old format and really old for Fear, because Walking Dead didn't really do a lot. They did the action, they talked about action that was happening, and then we saw that take place. That's not the case for Fear. A lot of things happen just from hearsay, from them discussing it. It's off camera, never seen, never happened, and so it takes a luster out of the whole episode because you're like, even with the explosion, the tanker and the plane and the boom, we didn't see that. We just see something on fire. There was none of that buildup. It just feels empty. A lot of these episodes always felt empty. The location, the fact they're never really explaining stuff, where they're at, what's going on. Everyone seems lost all the time. Well, I was looking for you. Well, it's flat land because we're using our eyes, and what we see on screen looks pretty flat. So how are you not seeing or hearing trucks go by or coming across a gas station filled with people that are part of Lucia's crew, or hearing all the boats that are going back and forth that June is sniping these guys because he's also stealing kids. He's a collector. Remember, from those groups. Where are the other groups? Because these aren't those groups. It's just too many holes. None of this makes sense. So let's just put this to bed. So thanks again, everybody, for tuning in, watching, and hearing us rant about the show. We know you don't like this show. We can tell by the numbers. Nobody likes this show. But you know what? We're covering it because that's what we do. We're sticking with it. We didn't like World Beyond either, but we wrote it to the end. And we're writing this to the end. So there's only a few more episodes. So thanks again for tuning in on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. If you got any more rants, go ahead. Leave them in the comments over on YouTube. And we will be back for episode 9. And we'll probably goof on that one too, because I can't see this getting any better. All right, everybody. Thanks and peace. Happy Halloween.
Peace.